And good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Pittsburgh Mauler Talk. My name is Ralph Williams. Those of you new to the show, it's great to have you here, and I'm happy to have you with us today, as we're talking about Pittsburgh Mauler talk here, where we're talking about the Maulers and everything going on. Right now, I've got some potential bad news as far as the Maulers go. I don't know what happened here. Oh well. Anyway, as far as the Maulers go, several former owners, several former owners of these teams that the USFL are using this year have filed a lawsuit against the USFL. The USFL might not even get off the ground. That's exactly what's going on right now, and it's very sad, but it's very true. You also can comment on the comment section here if you'd like, and we'll read off your comment as well. So, but anyway, as I mentioned before, you have some things going on with the Maulers, and the season starts April 16th. But if it does start, no one knows. The network is going to be Fox, and the Maulers are scheduled, even though the teams are going to be in what they call one. They're going to play at one stadium at Legion Field in Alabama. And what's going to happen is playing at Legion Field in Alabama, they're going to be the away team for the first three games. Now, they play Michigan, New Jersey, and Philly. Those are the teams that they're going to be playing throughout the season. There's only going to be 6 games. Each team, I believe, is going to have 6 games. They're going to play, teams in their division or teams in their area, more or less. But it doesn't make any difference because all the games are at Legion Field. Okay. And I'm working on trying to get somebody from the Maulers on here on the program so that we can talk about why they decided for the first inaugural season to play all their games at one field. Okay. A lot of people around here are not very pleased with that because they want to go to Maulers games. I would love to go to a Maulers game just to see what it's about. Okay. But what's happening right now is that I'm sorry, I'm trying to adjust myself here so I can, I'm handicapped. I have a few issues here, but anyway, um, getting back to that, a lot of people in Pittsburgh are not accepting the Maulers right now because they're angry about the fact that they're playing at Legion Field, and they're angry about the fact that we have to play all of our games there. It's one thing if you're playing the Birmingham Stallions and you're there for that, and they have to come here. Now, the biggest question, and we've said this on prior shows, where are the Maulers going to play next year? Well, that's the biggest question, and I want to get somebody on here from the Maulers organization to try to answer that question as well. I'm working on all that for future shows, if we even can have a future show. Because if the season doesn't get off, no use of me having anybody on at this point. I believe this lawsuit's going to get started real soon, and the judge might order the USFL to cease. And if that's the case, that they have to cease, then we're going to have issues. Okay, and the issues are going to be simple. There's not going to be a Mauler season. Next year will be their season if they even go a next year. Okay, these old owners that own these teams, they are angry because the current people who run the USFL, they didn't bother to consult with them or get some permission from them to use these names. Okay, and that's where this is the sticking point here. Now, I'm not a law person, but maybe there's a lawyer out there that can chat with us here tonight or today on the chat here. If you're, interested in coming on and chatting with me and tell me exactly what the law is. Okay. Because I don't know that. All right. So if you want to chat, we have a little chat section here. We're live here on YouTube, Mauler Talk. I am the only person locally here that has a set talk show just for the Maulers. I'm the only one. And you know what? I've made history before. Monday night on PCTV Channel 21, Comcast 47 Verizon, where I have my TV show, Sports Corner. It's on every Saturday at 5 p.m. Tomorrow, I'm doing a live call in, my new co-host, Smoking Jim Frazier. And let me tell you this, I have 3 mock drafts, and I'm going to tell you tomorrow's show. On my show tomorrow, Sports Corner, and you can participate by calling in as well. There'll be a number for you to call in. It's a live call-in show. But what I'm saying to you is this, and that is that tomorrow I will give you 3 mock drafts, 3, and I'm going to tell you who they think the Steelers are going to pick and where Kenny Pickett may go. Okay, all right. And next month's Sports Corner, we're going to talk about the Maulers. Okay, or not the Maulers. We're going to talk about the draft and where the Steelers could go and would go. And here we go. Juana, thank you, Juana, for watching the program today. A loyal watcher. Thanks for giving us this information. Very nice. Thank you, Juana, from Pittsburgh, chatting in here, live here on YouTube, Mauler Talk. Also, I want to go over today the roster, and those of you who don't know, the Maulers' new coach is Kirby Wilson. And Kirby Wilson is a familiar name. He was once the Steelers' running backs coach. And he supposedly had some issues with a fire at his condo out at 7 Fields at one time. And what had happened was he then ended up leaving the Steelers. Now, I don't know what happened. I don't know where that fire came from. And then after that, it seemed like the Steelers didn't renew his contract. He's been around the league. He was with Minnesota and a few other teams in the NFL. I'm not sure. This is Kirby Wilson's first head coaching job, so we're going to see what he does. Okay, but their coaching staff is quite simple. They have Daryl Johnston is their executive director for the USFL, and those of you who don't remember Daryl Johnston, he was a fullback for Dallas for many years. Went to the Super Bowl, and he's done a lot of. He was on one of the networks, I believe it was Fox. And I got to tell you, Daryl Johnston, next time you get on TV, guy, how about watching what kind of suit you put on? The one suit he had on, he looked like he got it from Goodwill or he robbed some pimp somewhere, because I'm going to tell you, that suit was terrible. Okay. And, but the Maulers coaching staff is Kirby Wilson, head coach, offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, John Tomlinson, and the defensive coordinator is Jaron Horton. So those are the coaches right now. And all the players so far that are on the team, there's like no free agents or anything. It's everything that they did in the draft. All right. We're going to get back to that in a few moments. I want to also tell you a few announcements about some of my other shows. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m., Blog Talk Radio, myself, Mark Mancini. We're not doing our normal black and gold sports show tomorrow. We're doing Wrestle Talk tomorrow. We're going to talk professional wrestling, WWE. We're going to talk WrestleMania. Oh, I can't wait, because we have some of the Hall of Famers that are being announced for the Hall of Fame induction ceremony as well. And I'm doing that show right after I'm done with my show. I'm also doing the show for the live call-in at 6 p.m. Don't forget tomorrow night, PCTV Channel 21, Comcast 47, Verizon, and PCTV's Facebook page. Also, tomorrow, 4:15 p.m., I am going to interview local Pro Bowler Bill Canada. And Bill's going to tell us about bowling. You know, bowling kind of slipped off the radar a little bit here and there. But you know what? He's going to talk about bowling and what's going back, how the PBA is starting to come back, and how the local bowling scene's looking. Bill will give us the insights on that as well tomorrow on The Way I See It, which is one of my other shows tomorrow. 4:15 Facebook, PCTV's Facebook page live, and then right after that live, 6 p.m. is on PCTV Sports Corner with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier, my co-host. Friday, right here on YouTube, right here, 4 p.m. on Friday, The Way I See It. And oh, wow, I gotta tell you, we got a show for you on Friday. And you know what's interesting? Each time I keep doing that show, things keep getting more and more and better and better and better and better. And I got a lot of likes and a lot of chats and a lot of emails. And I really appreciate that. A lot of people are starting to get the hang of the way I see it, not only just here, but national, because this is on YouTube. And, it's a national show. Now, tomorrow night at 8 p.m., in order to listen to rock, you need to do the phone number 347-205-9631. That's the number for tomorrow night's Wrestle Talk. Myself, Mark Mancini, we're going to be on Blog Talk Radio. Yes, indeed. And that's national. We've had the last time we did it, it was on a Sunday morning. We did it, and we had a whole bunch of people that actually chimed in, because what you can do, Juana, again, thank you again. She says we need a show like this, and that's right, we do. And I'm keeping everybody informed about the Pittsburgh Maulers and what they can do. I'd like to see this year a little more, or this time around, a little more support for the Maulers. Okay, the problem here in Pittsburgh is nobody supports any of these teams. It took forever to get people to support the Riverhounds, but now everybody's supporting them. But I mean, it took forever for people to support the Riverhounds. But you know what? For all the people who love football in Western Pennsylvania, why can't you support the Maulers? I don't understand that at all. All right, we had a indoor football team called the Power. Nobody supported it. It ended up going under after a few years. Okay, we had the Gladiators. That was another. We had the Maulers the first time around. We had a lot of different types of sports entities, and the surprising thing is, based on all this, okay, based on all the football that Western Pennsylvania is supposed to produce, as we're the high school pipeline and college, everybody loves football, but why can't you support the Maulers? That has me puzzled. Okay, and I'm hoping, I really am, that this year or this time around, if the Maulers can come home next year and this season doesn't fall flat on its face for the USFL, okay, next year, or 2023, next year, the USFL better be careful, because The Rock, the wrestler, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, is bringing the XFL. He bought it from Vince McMahon. So, and if Pittsburgh has a team, I'm doing another show just like this. And I'm going to be the first and only, okay, local guy that's doing a show dedicated to the Maulers. Dedicated to the Maulers. Juan, I want to thank you again. I can't wait for Friday's show either, because I have some interesting topics we can talk about. You know, my topics are very interesting. And I have one on Friday that's really, really going to make certain people kind of look in the mirror at themselves. Okay. And we're going to talk a whole lot about a lot of different topics, as we always do on Friday on The Way I See It. And don't forget my Sunday broadcast on Facebook live also. Sports Corner, 9 o'clock, 9:30, The Way I See It, 30 minutes. We do on The Way I See It on the TV show. And also on Facebook, we do Chinese Wisdom. I do Blast, okay? I don't do it on the Friday show, but I do it on the Friday podcast, but I do it on the Facebook page on Sunday at 9:30 as well. And once again, my topics are bringing a lot of stuff to light. Yes, they are. I make you think a little bit. I make you look at yourself in the mirror too, because there are some people that need to do that as well. And I've focused on a lot about the economy, and a lot about the fact that we're lazy, we're scared, and there's nothing. It's really amazingly pathetic about how those three topics are a simple reality in the United States. And it's not just here in Pittsburgh, it's in the United States. It's throughout the entire country. And it's really sad. But we'll talk about that on Friday, because I always use those three topics. My other motto, stupid never takes a vacation. And I also have a new segment called Bonehead. All right, that's another new segment, and I'm doing that on all the shows. All right, Bonehead, where somebody does a boneheaded move. And I did one on Sunday, and I introduced it, so I'm going to introduce it again to the TV show tomorrow, and I'm going to introduce it to you on Friday on the podcast. So tune in for that. Hey, I tell you what, I'm everywhere now. This is beautiful. I love this. I love it all. I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be here. I'm blessed to have the equipment to do this. I'm blessed to be on TV, and now I'm national. Wrestle Talk with my sports show with Mark Mancini on Mancini Media. I'm across the country on Blog Talk Radio. I'm about to go on Philadelphia on one of their stations. Okay, so what I'm saying to you is, it's moving. Everybody's starting to love what I do, my shows and everything else. Okay, and that the Pittsburgh media never ever. The Pittsburgh media here needs to take a look at what I'm doing, because if you're not going to do something for me, then I'm going to go national, and that's what's going to happen. Okay, and then that's the way it is, because there are people out here that think I'm not going to succeed. Well, guess what? I'm doing it, and I'm loving every minute. All right, let's get back to the Maulers. All right, their roster, they have two quarterbacks that they drafted. One's Kyle Loletta. He's from Richmond College or Richmond University or whatever they are. They're like a really low team and low college. But anyway, Josh Love is our other quarterback. That's it, Josh Love. So running back, Garrett Gruzak and Devon Smith. He's from Michigan, Devion Smith. So we're going to see what happens there. Michigan likes to run the football. If this Devion Smith decides to run the football, I think we're going to be okay based on what. And Kirby Wilson, he was a running backs coach most of his career, and he knows about running the football. So we'll see what goes on, how this offense goes. Wide receiver Jeff Thomas, Bailey Gaither, Brendan Mack, and Devon Hardaway are the wide receivers. They were also all this whole roster. This whole roster here was what was picked up in the draft. Any free agencies or anything else. And the thing that really puzzles me, and I said this on the last show, and I'm probably going to say it again, and that is, what happened to Duck Hodges? What happened to Devon Kaiser? What happened to some of these other guys that were? There was a whole list that I gave everybody about some former NFL players, and none of them got drafted except Paxton Lynch. And Paxton Lynch is a bum. He was a first-round bust by the Dendos. And guess what team he plays for? The Michigan Panthers. And, about a week ago, not this past Tuesday, but the Tuesday before, about a week or two ago, I had Luther Dupree on my show, on my podcast from Steel City Sports World. And Monday night, getting back to this, well, I had him on here, and I told him that Jeff Fisher was the coach at Michigan, and he went, "Are you kidding me? Do you know Jeff Fisher was a candidate for the USC job?" I start to take a look at some of the stats of Jeff Fisher, even though he went to the Super Bowl with the Titans, and he had a pretty decent record there. But the Rams, he blew it with Jared Goff. And then when they moved to LA, he really blew it. So Sean McVay came in, and they went to the Super Bowl. I don't know if Jeff Fisher has sort of worn out his welcome as a head coach. Okay. But he took Paxton Lynch as the last pick in the draft. And I got to tell you, Paxton Lynch, like I said, he was a bust. He in Denver. He was with the Steelers. They kept him on the practice squad because supposedly he couldn't understand the offense. But what bothers me is Randy Fichtner's offense was not hard. It was nothing but think and dink passes. That's all his offense was. So how do you justify not knowing the offense? Either you're lazy or you're a bum. So maybe you're both. Okay? But Paxton Lynch, oh my gosh, of all people, and I thought Doc Hodges would get picked up by C. He's still sitting out there. He might go back to the Canadian Football League. He was with the Canadian Football League. Maybe he'll go back there. Some of these guys will go there. But I tell you what, that's a shame. I mean, none of the Johnny Manziel. There's another one. I mean, these are some the guys that were in the NFL that maybe didn't do much, but they were recognizable names. The Sean Kaiser, Again, I just can't believe that these guys sat there all that time and didn't even get picked up at all. Now, Monday, this past Monday night, we made history, and it's the very first TV show in the history of PCTV that we ever did a show with myself, Sports Corner. Three different shows came together for one show. It was called the Year in Sports Spectacular, and we're going to do it again next year. Okay, but this time we're going to do it in January. We couldn't get it. It took me a little bit to round up everybody, but I did it. Okay, and it turns out that we're gonna do this again. And we had a lot of fun on Monday night. It was myself, it was Luther Dupree, Claudia Rosano, and Smoking Jim Frazier, my co-host, and he's also on the shows. Those three are on Steel City Sports World, which tonight they're going to be on PCTV at 6 p.m. They'll be taking your phone calls, and I might be calling in. So you know what? I might be calling in with a cut with some nuggets, which I have, and I might be calling in regards to that as well. But also, I have some nuggets for you on some mock drafts that are out about the Steelers. But you got to tune in tomorrow to my live call-in show on PCTV, channel 21, Comcast 47, Verizon, Roku TV, also Fire Stick and Apple TV. And PCTV now has an app that you can download to your phone and watch our programs, check schedules for them, things like that. But tonight there's going to be Steel City Sports World with Claudia Rosano, Luther Dupree, Smoking Jim Frazier. They also do a show called The Boxing Authorities, which is also on PCTV. The only boxing program in this town. And number two, they are on the Fight Network. It's FIVE. They're on that network, the Fife Network TV, as well as PCTV. Well, they were part of the program, all three of those guys. And then I had Alan Levine, the Talking Machine. He does a show every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Bethel Park TV. It's called Pittsburgh Sports Line, and also Smoking Jim Frazier's on that program too. He's on about 10 programs in this town. But anyway, there's nothing wrong with that. We got a bunch of guys in the media that do 800 shows all across. You know, I'm not going to mention no names, and I'm not going to mention some shows that I should be on that they're always on. So you know what? Forget it. All right. But anyway, so it was Smoking Jim Frazier, and it was all the and he's on with Alan Levine, the Talking Machine. Nick Callis and Chip Hayner are also on that show on Tuesday. They're on Facebook. They have their own Facebook page, Pittsburgh Sports Line. Whole different way of doing things. Everybody has a different way they do their shows. But Al Levine was on the Talking Machine, and I tell you what, we had a blast on Monday night. It was a great show. We didn't get any calls, but it was a great show. Anyway, on Monday night, I tell you, we had such fun. So we're going to do that again next year. Okay, let's get back to the roster here for the Maulers. Maulers got one tight end. They took a guy named Matt Siebert. They have three offensive tackles: Chidi O'Callaghan, Isaiah Battle, and Charles Baldwin are their offensive tackles. Guards are Bedell Alexander, John Deitzen. Center, they have two: Nico Fala and Braden Patton. Now that's your offense for the Maulers. Okay, now the defensive tackle Olive Sagapur and Boogie and Roberts. Boogie Roberts. You know, I wonder if he was to ever pick up a fumble and Boogie on the way into the end zone for a touchdown. There you go, Boogie Roberts. All right, Jeremiah Farmsky, and then we have defensive end Carlo Kemp, Nazir Player. How you like that one? I wonder if he really is a player. All right, Eric Asono is the other D3. They have three defensive ends, three defensive tackles, three outside linebackers: Tyson Graham, Malcolm Howard, and Calava Tazino. And their one inside linebacker is EJ Agila. And then safeties, Arnold Tarpley III. And they also have Bryce Forenston as the other safety. The cornerbacks are Gene Harris, Terrell Bonds, the Prince himself, Prince Robinson. Yeah. How about that, Prince? Oh, yeah. Prince Robinson. Jalen McCain Sapp as the other, the last of the cornerbacks, and their long snapper, Mitchell Fraboni. You know, Frabroni. You know what that does? That rhymes with what The Rock always says, jabroni. Macaroni. You know what? I got to have some fun on these shows. It's hilarious, but it really is. You know, it's a lot of fun, on the Mauler show. So, anyway, I can't stop laughing. It's funny. Anyway, like I said before, if you missed it, the former owners of these Mauler teams are suing the league of the USFL because they're upset with the USFL for using the same names and not consulting with them. So they're involved. The USFL may be involved in a lawsuit, and we may not be able to even have we may not be able to have the USFL this year. But we'll see. I hope that they can still maybe get an injunction or a what they call an extension of the hearing or something, or keep postponing them until the season's over and then do something. Yeah, something to that effect. I'm sure somebody can do some maneuvering there for the USFL. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. Today. I want to thank Juana for her participation in the chat, and I also want to thank all my friends, family, and everyone across the country and around the world for watching here on YouTube. I'm Ralph Williams. This has been Mauler Talk. We're here every Wednesday at 4 o'clock, where it's a 30-minute show. We talk and nothing but Pittsburgh Mauler talk. Okay. Also, don't forget about my other shows all across the globe here and across the Pittsburgh area. Don't forget about my Tuesday night podcast of Sports Corner live on YouTube, 8 o'clock. Starting at 7. We started at 7 this past week, but next week we're going to go back to 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Tuesday, right here live on YouTube. Sports Corner podcast. I'm working on getting a guest on with me again, as I always try. We'll see how that works out as well. So, for Ralph Williams and the Sports Corner Network and Broadcast, this has been Mauler Talk. Thanks for watching. Be safe. God bless. Thank you.